feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank. But it's sink or swim, only option is to win. In the murky water, not a thought of giving in.
Hey everybody, welcome to the post-show wrap-up of The Shrimp Tank. I am your host, Ted Jenkins, sitting here with my host today. Hosts, I say. Chris Hanks is the executive director and founder of the Shore Center for Entrepreneurship, and Joey Roos, who made his own title. We'll talk more about that on the show today. I'm sitting here with Darrah, who is not only a founder of multiple businesses, networking business, a payment processing business, but has built an amazing summit that we're going to talk about today in the post-show wrap-up and inspiring entrepreneurs all across America. And I tell you this, you want to make the best use. You like that? You have to point at people. For the next 45 minutes, you should download her entire broadcast today at shrimptankpodcast.com. Just amazing content will help you become a better entrepreneur.
So, Darrah, we talked on the show a little bit about building a following, which you've had an amazing experience doing. And I wanted you to distinguish quickly the difference between building a following and building a brand. Because with enough money, you can buy the billboards and everyone recognizes your brand. But following is a lot harder. Speak to how you built that.
This is not going to be a popular answer, but it takes consistent and persistent patient work. And for me, it was all about consistent content creation. And we talk more about this in the show as well, about how to find which lane you want to dedicate your time and energy to. But one of the tricks that I think would be most valuable to hear right now is to repurpose content. And I would imagine all of y'all are really good at this, where let's say I write an article for Forbes. I'm going to repurpose that into a number of Instagram captions. So they're super high value. I'm going to repurpose it and put it on other open source platforms like Medium and LinkedIn. And then I'm also going to put it on other platforms where I have contributorships to, like Thrive Global. And then I could even be so smart, which I've yet to do, but if I was doing something like this, I would take this and splice it into smaller videos and put that out into the world. Or I would take this and I would take all of the content and get it all into writing and create an article out of it. So you can take one piece of content and make it into multiple, but you've got to be consistent about doing it and do it very regularly. And then also equally importantly is to be super dedicated to your authentic voice and don't veer from that.
So one thing that makes me passionate about entrepreneurship is this phenomenal tool to allow people to live a life of design, not one that they default into. And you've got a whole conference, sort of around that theme. So can you tell people who are watching this more about that conference and how they can get involved?
Well, thank you. Yeah, so there's a 3-day fully online summit that's entirely free. It's called Life by Design, Not by Default. And it's September 12th to the 14th. You can sign up for free at lifebydesignsummit.com. And we've got speakers to the caliber of Deepak Chopra and Adam Grant, Jen Sincero, Kat Cole, Ronnie Turioff, and 40 others, giving you so much depth and value on how do you intentionally design your life and map it out? How do you build a career or a business to support and fund it? And how do you build a network to get you there faster?
Now, we talked about a lot of things on the show today, but you've been very savvy in dealing with media as a whole. And there are a lot of owners that are out there that may be watching this show and saying, I'd really like to get involved with the media. How would you recommend that they get started? Because you've been quoted in 300 plus publications, you've been on TV shows. How does an owner out there get started doing the things that you did with media to grow your business?
Well, so I think everything starts with your network. So start leveraging the people in your network who have any sort of platform to give you a voice, and be really responsible about that. Like, make sure you show up and show out, like do a really good job. And then secondly, start letting your network know that this is something you want to do so people can bring opportunities. And then lastly, you're not above anything. I think Gary Vaynerchuk talks about this, that you should say yes to everything when you're trying to get your voice out there so you can get experience, that you become polished, and that people start to see you and associate you as someone who's out in the media. So when they hear opportunities, they instantly think of you and you're top of mind.
Will you be buying the Gary Vee's Clouds and Dirt shoes? Will you buy?
I've read several of Gary's books. You know what's funny is we have a session in the summit by Margot Aaron called How to Get Your Inner Gary Vee to Shut Up. So.
I'm wondering, I saw on your website, or it might have been on one of the other articles, where did the shirt or the idea "Give a Damn"? Where did that come from?
Well, technically, that shirt came from the Atlanta Center for Civil and Human Rights. But, yeah, it's in their gift shop if you want one. But just the idea that we all need to give a damn about something in this world, and hopefully it's more than just about yourself, and the inner work that you need to do to get yourself to a place to give a damn about other people is the first step. But then beyond that, we've got to live a life of service.
And those, for entrepreneurs that are watching the post-show wrap-up today, I mean, you're obviously very well-read, very well-spoken. Is there a book or two that you would recommend for an entrepreneur to have on their nightstand that would be a good one for them to read and possibly help them in their entrepreneurial journey?
I have so many. So obviously, I like Adam Grant's work. He's in our summit, and I think Give and Take is an exceptional book to help you reframe the way you think about relationships and networks as giving forward. So that's one. I really love Tony Hsieh, CEO of Zappos, book Delivering Happiness. It's an exceptional way to think about culture and building your teams. And one book that's on a personal side, but I think is going to underpin your success as a leader and an entrepreneur, is called The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, which talks about 4 agreements one should make with himself to live the best version of themselves in their life. And they seem super simple, but they're actually really effing hard. So good luck.
Well, we wanted to thank you so much for coming on the program today and sharing those nuggets of wisdom with all the people watching the post-show wrap-up and those that will listen to the podcast. And so for those people that want to attend the virtual summit on the 12th through the 14th of September, I know Joey Roos is going.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm registered.
How can they register, learn more about you, learn more about the event? And Joey, what are you most excited about going to the event? What do you hope to learn the most?
Well, I think you can register just by going to darrah.co. That's what I did. Right? It's really simple and straightforward. I'm looking forward to hearing your interview style, because you're obviously well-spoken on the radio, to hear some of the questions that you asked, to really pull content out of these amazing speakers, because you got Class A people coming who have an amazing experiences, and I'm hoping to make myself better as a result of learning from their journeys.
Nice. So how can people sign up for the event and learn more about you?
Thank you for asking. Head to lifebydesignsummit.com and head to darrah.co.
Now, we learned a lot today from Darrah, but I'll tell you one of the biggest things that I learned in a very simple quote that you talked about today is just saying, I am alive. And I think as owners, we forget some days that, yes, you get beat up by employees. Yes, you can get a letter from a lawyer that wants to sue your company, but as you stay focused on your passion, your goals, and your outcome, you too can be a successful entrepreneur. And thank you for watching the post-show wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank.